Hello everyone, today another nice day. A lot of plays went rip in face. I'm going to be breaking them down in this video, and I'll also be talking about GNS. I know you guys really love GNS, that stock. I'm going to be giving my honest thoughts as well as the psychology behind that stock. So the first stock, NAMM, this one was a really nice play. I mentioned it at 950, it ends up going up to about 1242. So that's a $3 a share move, which is a very nice move. So I mentioned in the previous video that for these stocks that are more expensive, the ones that are around $10 or more, all you really have to do, not financial advice, but most of the time these higher, especially these higher market cap stocks, the ones that have higher than a few hundred market cap, right, closer to a billion, like 600-700 million market cap, you just have to like ride the 9 EMA, try that trend line, and most of the times they end up just uptrending all day, as long as there isn't like a pattern break, right? For example, if the uptrend breaks and it starts to go down, that's different, but as long as it just keeps slowly starting to go up, it's something nice to remember. So that was NAMM. Next one, LIXT. This was a monster winner that I mentioned actually for 2 days now. I believe I said this morning that it was a multi-day setup because of how it ran the previous day, right? And if you watch my videos, you know how I talk about how multi-day setups are one of the best setups for trading, where if something runs a little bit, right, the previous day, and then it holds, consolidate, and then it makes the next move higher, and then you start to see like a multi-day opportunity. So at LIXT, this is one of those biotechs, low float, and it really ended up squeezing super hard, as you saw in the price action today. So the next one, BGL, this one I mentioned again, this is a multi-day type of setup. Again, micro float. And the thing with BGL is that it was very thin both days, which means that the spread, it was really spready as well. So if you were playing this stock, most likely you traded it with smaller size, because if you use big size on these type of names, or you get like 10,000 shares, you're gonna get extreme slippage. That means that if you try to exit the stock, if you're green, or if you try to like cut a loss, you're gonna get really like, bent over pretty much. So BGL, I mentioned that $50 level, psychological level, and it ended up just squeezing. This is more like a liquidity trap type of price action, or if you pull it up, the previous day it was really thin, consolidating, broke out after hours, and then most likely the shorts were expecting that under $100 it would have cracked down and reverse round trip, right? Because that's how psychology behind those psychological pivots, not just for long but also for short bias traders. Or if they see a stock rejecting those levels, they most likely are bearish on it, right? Especially if you're on lower volume. If a stock doesn't have high volume, the shorts get comfortable, because if a stock has huge volume, rip and face, it's more scary to short those stocks, right? Because it could get, like margin call type of squeeze. So BGL, this one was a nice win today as well. The next one was swan. This one was again complete monster. This was the MVP of today, the biggest runner intraday other than BGL. I'm pretty sure if you have any other stock, write in the comments, but I'm on stocks all day, so I'm pretty sure it's on small caps. So this stock I mentioned right at that bottom 150 level, right at the open. You can check the time, it was like near the open. And then what I really like about the stock, you already know, guys, the float. And not just the float, but if you look at the chart where it started to break out, I'm doing this live with you guys, so look at the time I mentioned the stock. It says on the time 9:59, right? So if I pull up the chart right now, 9:59, what made me really interested in this stock was that first it started to get really nice volume, and then it started to drop, right? But when a stock makes good volume randomly, and then it makes a big drop, and then a reclaim, that is when you really have to pay attention. That's like a tip, because most of the time if a stock reclaim and then it makes that new high over the previous resistance, and then it becomes support, as you saw right there when that 150 psychological level broke, and then it turned into support, and then you saw that's after that happened, you saw the massive move up. And this happens almost every day. So maybe write that down, or remember where if resistance, like you see a break and then it just, crows over The shorts got really bent on, they got messed up on this one, shorts. They ended up ripping all the way almost to $5. That's a 210% gain from where I mentioned it. So yeah, they got really bent over on this one. So this one you want to watch tomorrow. If it holds 4, probably is going to continue squeezing, maybe even pre-market. So next one, IN. This again, okay, it's a pattern. It's a lot of multi-day action that you're seeing every day, because lately I said that small caps have been really strong this summer, and it's true. If you see a lot of these names, they end up running multiple days, not just one day pop and drop, right? And that's what you really want to see in small caps, because back in 6 years ago, when small caps were insane, that's what ended up happening every single day. But it stopped, I think, like for a while, and now we're starting to finally see that again. So that's really good. And this is another one of those bios, right? and I made a really nice move, and you want to still keep an eye on this one because the shorts are really getting squeezed on this one. Go to the daily chart, and next level that you want to see hold is over 1750.18. This has a really nice gap, and this stock is definitely on my watch list. The next one, BMNR. This one again, I mentioned it many times, which is a really good runner, and then I ended up doing another pop today, multi-day setup over those levels. Really nice win. Next one, BKQT. If you remember what I said in the beginning of the video about the whole more expensive stocks, right? Buying the uptrend 9 EMA. It just happened almost every day. You could check yourself. And again, I'm not saying it's financial advice, but I'm just trying to help out, give my tip. Where the more expensive stocks over $10, it's pretty easy to ride the trend with higher market cap because they're less volatile compared to these micro, those the opposite side of the spectrum, the stocks that we tend to trade, right? So BKQT was a really nice win on this one. And next stock, you already know, guys, GNS. So many people love GNS. I asked yesterday, what's your price targets for GNS? And I gave my opinion, but I'm still going to be making updates on this stock every day because it's not just that it's a very popular, but also because, for my personal opinion, I think this is a really interesting story behind the stock, where the CEO is literally trying to combat the whole narrative of short selling. And this reminds me heavily of those times during the AMC mania, right? And it was really fun back then too. I remember I was active during that time period, and I actually did mention AMC right at the bottom. And I'm not trying to flex, but I'm just trying to say that when opportunities like this happen, you have to pay attention to what's going on and capitalize, right? Because these are like historical type of movements, right? Where a stock is restricted. I'm hearing some people saying that it's restricted from being purchased at various brokers. I'm not going to name the brokers out of respect, but what's your experience, guys, with buying the GNS? Because for me, I don't think I have issues, but I'm seeing online from sources such as on Twitter, sources like, people are saying that they can't purchase it, which is a really weird, situation. And and this is what I also want to talk about, where I remember I said how yesterday's video, the longer it consolidates, the bigger the move. And this is not just talking about GNS. I'm talking about any stock. When you day trade or even swing trade, look for multi-day consolidation, because the more longer something boils, it's like water, right? It just gets hotter, it just gets boiling, like brewing, and then you see that that once it gets hot, it starts popping. So you might be wondering, why is GNS not shooting up? Well, first of all, I said in like 3 videos, I said that has the candle close over that 150, which is the first start of the sign. You want to see a strong close over 150 that is making new highs, right? It's just in like a sideways type of channel, which is not bad at all. But again, it's not over that pivot. Right now, it's just keep seeing it's like 135 area, which is still really good price for the stock. And when you're talking about GNS, you have to think about what is your plan when you're trading the stock. I read some comments of people that have like really nice averages, right? But what's your specific trading plan when you're coming to GNS? Do you plan on holding it to the moon? You plan on holding it to $100? You plan on scaling? You plan on buying more or averaging up? You plan on buying dip? What's your specific plan? Because if you have no plan when it comes to trading, then it could be more difficult, right? Because of emotions as well. So I'm curious, if you want, you could drop down your plans, guys, and people could maybe benefit from that. Because a lot of people watch my videos. And I'm going to be posting more updates on GNS as well. And this is a asymmetrical risk reward type of play. That means basically the risk, in my definition, the reward is better than the risk, right? Because most people got in this stock really low. I mentioned it right in the beginning, around 50 cents. And I'm pretty sure most people watching this video average is max like $1, right? No one's like average. I mean, actually there will be people with higher averages because this stock used to be a much higher actually. But if you average down, probably it wouldn't be that high. But even still, this stock is a heavily catalyst based stock as well, because I'm telling you guys, go check yourself. The CEO is really active. Every day he's posting posts, dropping news, and this is a significant type of news. It's not just something like saying that this stock is a good stock. No, he's being very intentional with his news releases as well as his actions. Yesterday, I told you 2 days ago, Kevin Malone, this guy, he was in charge of QNTM, the squeeze, right? QNTM, if you look it up, was a massive, this was like a supernova. So this stock earlier this year, right, looking at right now, this stock was trading under $3, and then I'm going all the way to 38. GNS in this time period right now, from 50 cents to 1.1 plus, is they hit like 150, right? So if you do the math, from 50 cents to it hit like 160, I believe that was the top recently. That's a 200% move, which is good, but I mean that's nowhere compared to, let's say, running like 1,000, 2,000%. So it still has room to go, and I'm not saying that it's guaranteed it's gonna hit 2,000%, but I'm just saying that this is not like anything out of the ordinary when you're talking about range, especially when you talk about multi-day action. If you watch my videos, you saw earlier LIXT, VOR, like so many stocks run multi-day, and GNS has been running for how many days now? It's been going on for literally just like a week. No, it's like like a week pretty much. That's nothing, It just run for a week, and that was when I started mentioning in the beginning of around 50 cents. That's when the big volume started to come in and it went crazy. So this been only really a week. That's like nothing, because you want to think macro long term as well. What's your vision on this stock? He's talking about this year, he's talking about dividends, and he's talking about Bitcoin as well. So are people investing in this stock? Are you swing trading it? What's your plan, guys? I'm just curious, because I want to make more videos on this stock, and I'm just trying to get a read on what you guys are doing with this stock. So if you made it to the end of the video, guys, I appreciate you. And I forgot to mention about GNS is that the weekend is coming up. It's a long weekend. Actually, July 4th, the market is closed. I don't know if you know that, but it's closed. So what does this mean for shorts? That means that if you short a stock, you have to pay fees, right, overnight. They'll borrow, and these shorts, right? Imagine you're shorting this stock, let's say from, I don't know, let's say you're shorting it from when it first made that parabolic push to 80 cents. Let's say your short average 80 cents. You see the stock run up to 161. It's consolidating right near that important pivot, 150. You know a long weekend is coming up. The CEO releases news like every 2 days. You can really check it yourself. What's your mind gonna have to go, like the process? What you're gonna think, like your thought process. So the shorts are really nervous right now. Probably, I'm just speaking from my experience because I used to short, but I don't short anymore. But I'm telling you guys, if this stock over the weekend, the short, one big player, or they start to really get panic, then actually it could be really explosive for the stock. So that's another factor. The long weekend, short fees. So if you're watching the stock, pay attention to how it acts next week as well. I'm going to be monitoring the stock very closely. So that's pretty much the video, guys. And some swing ideas I mentioned on stock tools. I have several swing ideas I mention every day as well. I don't just do today trade ideas. So from stocks I was looking at was MLGO. Look at this range. That's one thing. Next one was BON. This is a very explosive type of setup as well. Watch this one. And next one is MOGO. This one I want to watch that 250 hold for multi-day, similar to WAR and IN, those type of action, right? So that was the video, guys, and I appreciate you. So I'll see you tomorrow, guys, and we're gonna bank and try to do our best. All right, peace, everyone.